Hey, 5th and 6th graders. So I'm going to teach you how to create a cityscape silhouette using Pixlr. We're going to do this 3 times. You're going to need to have 3 levels of your cityscape, but you can use this technique for each level, okay? So we're going to use the program called Pixlr, and you're going to find the link in our Google Classroom. You're going to use Pixlr E. You're not going to use Pixlr X. You're going to use Pixlr E for this program. Okay, so I'm going to click this. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do this. I'm going to open a new image, but first what I need to do is a Google search for my image. So I'm going to go here to Google search, and like I said, I'm going to use the cityscape of Seattle. So I'm going to go Google Seattle and go to images, and you guys know how to do these image searches. But I'm going to teach you that you want to click on tools. You're going to go to size, and you're going to make sure that you're using a really large size image. We also want to find something that's landscape, because there's a lot of fantastic images that are in portrait direction, but remember that you're working in landscape because you need it to be you need your cityscape to be 12 inches long. So in order to find one that would fit, you want to find something like this that's really long landscape position. So I'm going to find a cityscape here. How about this one? Click it, and then I'm going to right mouse click. I really like the skyline in this particular cityscape, although I'm afraid that the Space Needle might end up being gone, because see how it's in front and it doesn't stand out. So maybe I'll find one that is has the Space Needle kind of standing out on its own a little bit more, or maybe I'll have to just make a different one for the Space Needle, because I feel like the skyline of Seattle definitely has to have this Space Needle, or you wouldn't even know it's Seattle. But I'll use this picture anyway. So you want to click on the picture, and then you're going to right mouse click it, and you're going to go save image as. And you definitely want to know what you're saving it to. I'm going to save mine in my pictures, and I'm going to call it Seattle so that I can easily find it. You got to give it a name that you can easily find. And you can put it into your art folder. I'll just create a new folder here. Seattle. I'll just save it down here, Seattle, and it's in my picture folder. All right, now I'm going to go back to Pixlr. I'm going to open image. I'm going to find my picture that I just saved. And open it up, and now I can work. Before I can work on it, I need to make sure that I click the lock key off. So I'm going to double click that, and now I can work on this picture. So what I'm going to do, what my objective is to create this whole cityscape as a silhouette. So I want it to be black. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the sky. There's a couple of ways of going about that. One, you can crop a lot of it out, like you click this crop button, and I can literally crop down to the top of the Space Needle. I want to be careful not to cut the Space Needle, the needle of the Space Needle off. So then apply, and now I've cropped out a lot of my sky. I can also use this magic wand tool right here, and I can click on that, click on my sky, backspace, and now my sky is gone. Oftentimes though, what will happen is if your tolerance level is not right on point, then you can end up clipping off some of your buildings. So I'm actually going to go edit, undo, and I'm going to deselect. I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to erase this by hand, and I'll show you how to do that. Up here is the scroll bar. You can scroll in really close, and you can move your move myself out of the way. You can move this red square around so that you can get in close, and I've got some stuff selected, get in close and be able to erase. So, but to erase by hand, what you're going to do is go up down here to this erase button. It says eraser. You're going to click on that. You can change the brush to with soft edges or hard edges. You know, around a building you might use a square. So I'm going to click on the square and I'm going to like just start erasing. I can drag or I can just click. And maybe I want this to be super geometric, so I'm using the square button. But like I said, you can use whatever one works for you. If you're working around bushes or something like that, you might want to use something that is more organic looking or with softer edges, or what, you know, there's all kinds of different types of erasers. Now when you see it turning checkered, checkers means it is invisible. So I'm going to speed up, get some of these clouds out from here. As I erase, I'm going to scroll back out and just kind of keep going around, erasing the best I can around my buildings, and then I can use that magic erase tool. I'm mostly trying to get out some of these clouds and some of these other things that are gonna kind of make the tolerance act funky. So just kind of erasing, trying to get a lot of this out of here. And then I can go back, use my magic wand tool, and hopefully that's a little bit better. So once I've got everything out and it's just my cityscape left, then what I'm going to do is I got to deselect in order to move on to the next thing. So you want to make sure nothing's highlighted or anything like that. So I'm going to go up here to adjustments, down to threshold. I'm going to put a threshold on it, and I'm going to move that threshold all the way so it's totally black, like this. And now I've just created a silhouette of my city. Apply. I'm going to scroll back so I can see my whole city. Ooh, looks fantastic. I can go back and kind of clean up some of these things. But now what I'm actually going to do, I can either print this out and have it to look at and copy my skyline, or I could just look at it right here on my computer, and I'm going to use my black paper and I'm going to copy my skyline, just either freehand or I mean, if you wanted to, you could technically cut it out and trace and then retrace it, but that's a lot of work. And with a cityscape, you're looking at a lot of straight edges or fairly straight edges. So I think it's, and you don't need to be totally exact, but it gives you the gist of the city, right? So, so I'm confident that you can freehand draw this once you've got this great silhouette. All right, you're going to do this 3 times for 3 different layers.